Welcome back to Vibe Podcast. Today we're reviewing an AI music composer, an app developed by David Morgan. I'm joined by Charles and Angela.
Hello everyone, Charles here, retired first-chair cellist. I've spent my life coaxing beauty from wood and strings, not from lines of code.
And I'm Angela, a digital sound engineer and producer. I'm always looking for the next big leap in creative technology, and AI in music definitely stirs my interest.
Brilliant. So, we're looking at David's app that's essentially a music composition suite. It allows users to generate original music from text prompts using AI, load and play MIDI files, mix, export, and tweak various musical parameters. Charles, I can almost see your eyebrows rising from here.
Oh, they're not just rising, Alice. They're practically levitating. Generate original music from text prompts. That's an oxymoron. Music comes from the soul, from life experience, from the sweat and tears of practice. Typing in a few words and letting a machine spit out notes. That's not composition, that's ordering a pre-made meal.
Charles, with all due respect, I think you're looking at this from a very traditional, perhaps even limited, perspective. This isn't about replacing human creativity, it's about augmenting it, opening it up to more people. Imagine someone with a great musical idea but no traditional instrument training. They can use a text prompt to translate that idea into a tangible piece of music. The ability to tweak musical parameters, like style, key, and tempo gives them immense control, not less. And it's modular and extensible, meaning it's a fantastic tool for both musicians and developers to build upon.
Augmenting creativity. It's taking the very essence of it away. What about the struggle? The hours spent finding the right chord, the perfect phrasing. This app just gives it to you. And what does it mean to have an AI-driven logic create something? Logic isn't emotion, it's numbers, algorithms.
Well, the guide does mention it uses a music data structure to represent a song, including chord progressions, instrument tracks, piano, bass, strings, drums, mixer settings, and even groove and humanization. Angela, what's your take on this digital representation of music?
I think it's brilliant. A structured music data model allows for incredible flexibility and precision. It's like a blueprint for a piece of music, but one that can be infinitely manipulated. The inclusion of groove and humanization is key here, Charles. It's an attempt to emulate the subtle timing and velocity variations that make human performance so expressive. This isn't just a basic MIDI sequencer, it's designed to sound more organic.
Attempt to emulate. Angela, you can't emulate a human soul. Groove and humanization, that's just a fancy way of saying it's trying to fool you into thinking a machine has feeling. A machine doesn't understand the difference between a mournful cello and a joyful violin. It just maps MIDI numbers. It's a pale imitation.
Let's delve into one of the main features, music generation from prompt. Users select style, key, BPM, complexity, and a seed for reproducibility. The app then generates a full arrangement using music theory rules like diatonic chord palettes, style-specific progressions, voice leading, and that humanization feature we just discussed.
This is where the power truly lies. The artificial intelligence isn't just randomly throwing notes together. It's applying sophisticated music theory rules. Diatonic chord palettes for major, minor keys, voice leading, instrument voicing. These are fundamental principles of composition. It's essentially an intelligent assistant that understands musical structure, allowing users to rapidly prototype ideas, explore different styles, or even overcome creative blocks. The deterministic with a seed for reproducibility is invaluable for producers who need consistency in their workflow.
You call it an intelligent assistant. I call it a replacement. Music theory rules are a guide, not a straitjacket. And what about the choice? The unexpected moment of inspiration that leads to breaking a rule and creating something truly new. An AI, by its very nature, is bound by its programming. It can only generate what it's been taught, what it's been fed. It has no muse. As for reproducibility, music isn't a factory assembly line. Each performance, each creation, should have its own unique spark.
The app also handles MIDI and JSON, some say JSON, import, using track name and pitch range heuristics for MIDI files. And for playback, it uses a custom audio engine for sample-based playback, not just MIDI beeps. You can adjust volume and pan per track in real time.
That's crucial for professional integration. Being able to import MIDI and JSON means it can fit into existing workflows. The custom audio engine and sample-based playback are fantastic. This means high-quality sounds, not generic MIDI tones. Real-time mixing controls are essential for shaping the sound and getting a good balance. It makes the digital creation feel much more like a traditional studio experience.
Listen to that moosack it churns out. Elevator music, MIDI, JSON, it's all just data. In my day, MIDI was address length. It lacks the warmth, the resonance of an actual instrument being played in a room. You can tweak volume and pan, but you're just moving digital faders on sounds that never truly lived. It's like painting by numbers and then calling yourself a master painter.
The export options are quite comprehensive too. JSON for re-import, MIDI for DAWs or notation software, and WAV audio, either stereo or stems.
The ability to export stems as WAV files is a huge professional advantage. That means you can take the individual instrument tracks and further mix and master them in a dedicated digital audio workstation. It offers incredible flexibility for post-production and truly bridges the gap between AI generation and a professional-grade final product.
So, you can generate this music, and then pretend you composed it by mixing it in a DAW. It still originated from a machine. It's a dishonest process. And, notation software. How can you write down something that wasn't conceived by a human mind? It's just a sequence of mathematically generated notes.
The guide details how to use it. Fill in a prompt, select parameters, click generate. Or load a file, then play and mix. It even discusses customization, adding new styles or instruments, or changing the music theory logic itself.
This is the exciting part for developers and experimenters. The fact that you can add new styles or change music theory logic means this isn't a closed system. It's a platform for continuous innovation. Imagine AI composers specializing in microtonal music or entirely new forms of harmony. The possibilities are endless.
Change music theory logic. Music theory is built on centuries of human understanding and emotion. You can't just change it like a setting on a washing machine. This is hubris, pure and simple. It's trying to rewrite what it means to be a musician. And what do you mean by deterministic randomization? That's a contradiction. Randomness implies freedom, not a predetermined outcome.
It means that for a given seed, the AI will produce the exact same result every time. This is a feature, not a bug, in many creative applications. It allows for iteration and refinement. You can generate a piece, tweak a parameter, and regenerate, knowing that the core structure will remain consistent. And Charles, music theory evolves. This tool allows for incredibly rapid experimentation with those evolutionary ideas. It's not rewriting, it's exploring.
And the advanced generation logic includes things like style-specific chord progressions, instrument patterns with randomized DNA, drum patterns with fills, voice leading for smooth transitions, and that humanization with timing and velocity swing.
DNA. This isn't life, it's code. Voice leading is an art form, learned through years of practice, listening, and understanding how notes feel as they move. A machine just calculates the shortest path. And humanization will always sound artificial because it lacks the true, unpredictable imperfection that makes music alive. I'd rather hear a child stumble through a simple tune with genuine emotion than a perfect, sterile piece from this AI.
But Charles, for someone who isn't a trained musician, or even for an experienced composer looking for fresh ideas, these features are incredibly powerful. They can generate complex, musically coherent pieces that adhere to established theory while still offering variation. The AI can generate hundreds of ideas in minutes, which might take a human composer weeks or months. It's a tool for discovery, not for replacement. It allows for rapid prototyping and exploration of musical ideas that might otherwise remain unexplored.
It seems we have two very distinct views on this. Charles, do you see any scenario where you might find such a tool useful? Perhaps for, say, background music for a video, where the emotional depth isn't the primary concern.
Even then, Alice, I'd prefer a human composer, no matter how obscure. There's a fundamental difference. A human making music, even simple background music, still imbues it with some part of themselves. An AI does not. It is efficient, yes, but soulless. It's like buying a plastic flower instead of a real one. One might last longer, but it will never smell as sweet.
I think that's precisely the point, though. For functional music, like background scores, jingles, or even placeholder tracks for film edits, AI composers can be incredibly efficient and cost-effective. And who's to say what emotional depth and artificial intelligence might achieve in the future?